That's the air horn.
Very good.
Okay, yeah, I didn't want to scare
Would you like to join us?
No, sure.
Oh, he took it high. He took it high.
Trying to compliment that.
That was so
You guys were in the same octave.
That was dovetailed.
Well done.
That was so nice. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Riggle's Picks. I'm Rob Riggle.
I'm Darren Leader.
And we have a very special guest with us today. I'm very excited to have you here. And while Gary was trying to figure out the microphone sitch.
Pretty cool, Gary.
We've been sitting here for 2 hours. And in that 2 hours, we did the entire interview.
It's great.
We had a great conversation. We learned a lot about David's movie that he just made.
Yes.
His history in television, his lovely wife and their lovely family. And I just want to thank you for being here today.
Really appreciate it, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you
Yeah,
very
take
much.
care, dude.
I'll see you
Good to
next
see
time.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Actually, you know what? If you don't mind, Dave, would you stick around?
Yes.
Just stick around.
Just hang out.
Minutes, yeah.
Hang
For
out
the
a
end of
little
the
while
show.
longer. 'Cause
It is my date night, but I'll say push it. Let's push the whole thing. 2
by
hours.
the way, I love that we were, and we have so much to cover, so I won't dilly-dally. Let's just dive right in.
Well, let's announce his name.
Oh, sorry.
David Henrie.
David
I'm
Henrie.
David Henrie.
Hey, David Henrie,
Two
everybody.
first names.
I apologize. I thought I got that out early.
It's very exciting.
It is. It's very, and we know you from so many things. I personally know you because I feel like my kids grew up, but I spent so much time watching you on TV. We had countless hours. It was my daughter's favorite show that you were on. You were on Wizards of Waverly with Selena Gomez.
Yeah.
And Selena actually is very gracious. She has come to my charity event in Kansas City a couple times now, which, by the way, I invite you to.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's for Children's Mercy Hospital there, and she came a couple times. We had the best time. She's amazing. It's a really fun weekend, and she's a wonderful person. I don't have to tell you that.
I love to come. That's awesome.
So we'd love to have you there. But I don't want to put you on the spot here. Let's talk about. You just said you got to go on. You got date night.
Yes, date night's tonight.
So smart man. You're a smart man because you've got 3 young ones and you've got a lovely wife who you got to take out on date night.
How often is date night?
We try to be once a week. Try to absolutely be once a week.
Good.
I'm here doing a show now. Most of the time I'm in Idaho, so we don't have as much help out here. So it's been now a couple times a month, but like once a month we do it and we have a freaking great time.
Does
That's
date
awesome.
night include dinner and maybe a hotel, or is it? No. I mean, like, is it overnight or is it?
We've done overnights for sure, but date night for us is just dinner and then get back to the kids.
Copy
because
that.
her mom's watching the kids right now. So
Nice.
We'll get back to
Have you picked out a good spot for dinner?
Yeah, we're going to Mastro's after this.
Oh,
Steak. Come on now.
come on!
What time is our reservation? Let's go.
You don't mind
Maria,
if
get a 4-top.
Yeah, I hope you don't mind Darren and I coming along.
Absolutely. Play golf afterwards.
Dude,
I'll just
night
tell my wife
golf?
not to come and we can go.
I mean, I'd hate to.
I didn't want to
don't
say it
wanna-
out loud.
Yeah, I
but
don't want
you're-
to say it out loud either. But
You're reading my mail, David. David's the best guest we've ever had. That's awesome. So you have a reason to be here in California
Yes.
from Idaho, and you're promoting something.
yeah, I
Yes.
wanted to. So there's so many things to talk about. First, can we jump in on your movie?
Yeah.
Let's jump in on your movie because this thing's coming out October 4th. It's right
Yes.
around the corner.
Yes.
And I'm excited about it. It's called Monster Summer.
Yes. Monster Summer. It has Mel Gibson, Kevin James, Lorraine Bracco, an awesome cast of kids. And I fell in love with this.
These are Academy Award winners.
Unreal.
I
Were
mean,
you,
these are
scared to direct them?
You kidding me?
Because
Direct Braveheart?
Yeah.
Yeah. To direct an Oscar-winning director, I was like, what am I going to tell this guy?
dude. So, like, I get that you love the script, and I get that you fell in love with it, and you made the movie, which is a feat unto itself. Me, as a non-movie making, non-acting guy, I'm thinking to myself, how the hell do you tell Mel Gibson to give it another go because it wasn't good enough? Like, what do you say?
That's
Mel,
exactly what... Dude, I remember my first meeting with him. He read the script, and he was on the fence. And so I have to meet with him and I have to pitch him, right? My vision. And I'm like, I'm a freaking kid. This guy's been nominated for multiple Academy Awards. He's made 5 movies and I think been nominated for 3 Best Pictures that he's directed, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm going to go in. What am I going to tell this guy? I was so nervous. Like the fear was just overwhelming. Yeah. And we're at a coffee shop. I see him through the window and I know all of his movies. Like I've studied him as a director and he as an actor too. He's so talented. Looking at him through the window, I'm hit with fear. I'm like, I can't move. And I remember I just took a deep breath and I went, just if he doesn't like you, who cares? But pitch your ass off. Pitch the thing that you love. You're not a servant of people's opinions. Cast that off. You're done with it. It's out the window. Go in there and kick ass. And if he doesn't love you, you did your thing.
You don't have to second guess.
You don't have to second guess. I was like, I'm just gonna give it all, and I did, and he goes, okay, kid, yeah, you know what you're doing. He goes, I like this. It's a good script, good this and that. He had a few questions we talked through, and then we just shot the breeze for like 2 hours, and he was like, he turned into like another father figure to me. Like he is. What I was nervous about, and you've worked with so many actors and so many legendary actors, that sometimes older, very award-winning, respected actors can be tough to work with.
Yeah, set in their ways, I imagine.
Set in their ways. They don't want to be told what to do. They
Right.
want to be on the set at a certain time.
They're not coachable anymore.
They're not coachable anymore. They're doing the coaching, and they're the ones being like, I know how to run this.
You've always got to be
show.
coachable, man.
And so I was really nervous about that, and that was my biggest fear. He was the exact opposite. We got him this beautiful dressed trailer. It had like a 6-burner in it. Like, it's the nicest trailer I've ever seen in my life. The thing was a house. He wasn't in it once. He stayed on set all day, even in scenes he wasn't there. He'd just sit like literally right next to me, just going, "Oh, David, I did this thing in Braveheart where we adjusted the shutters, we adjusted the frame rate on the camera, and it allowed for a jump cut here. It'd be really spooky if you did that right here." I'd be like, "What the?" Oscar winner said, let's do that.
Let's do that.
It's a great idea, Mel. Any others, keep them rolling.
So
I love this because it shows, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I love it because it shows his true passion for filmmaking, which is, whether it's in front of the camera, whether it's behind the camera, he has a passion for filmmaking.
Yes, he is obsessed with it. He loves it.
That's
His
awesome.
film IQ, he would pitch ideas. I used every single one of them. There wasn't a single one where I was like, oh, I have to have an awkward conversation because this doesn't fit what I'm going for in this moment. Every single idea, he was bang on right, and it was just instinct for him. He goes, this point in the scene, David, we need a laugh. The script didn't have a laugh. And he goes, I'm going to throw something in here. He'd do it, and it was exactly right, and it gets people cracking up in our test audiences that we've done. Every single thing he did, we freaking use it. His film IQ is through the roof. As a director, like, he would know, I'd be on a shot of him, and the focus wouldn't be him. He'd be off camera, and he would know the size of the lens, so he could raise his arm and add texture to the shot, giving me a foreground element to get to my person. He would just do it on his own.
How nice is that? He just knew instinctually. He knew what you needed.
Yes.
So you got Mel Gibson as an actor.
Crazy? That's great.
You got him as an actor, but then you also got another source of ideas to assist in your vision.
Yes.
Not just a guy to play the part.
Yes.
But like this whole set of tools that you may not have discovered yet, but now you have those to add to your, like, that's advancing fast.
And you know what else I think is cool about it? It's like, if you, we're all golfers and we love golf, but if someone, the coach says, hey, do this with your wrist or do this, you're kind of like, yeah, okay. But if he goes out on the course with you and you're having a playing lesson, he's like, I find myself in this situation, which I do. Go, okay, tight lie, you want to chip this way or something. Then you get way more than you ever got on the driving range.
Get the granular stuff.
You get and so I imagine, and maybe I'm speaking out of turn here, but I imagine having him on the set, you got that wonderful playing coaching and that actually seeing it in practice.
100%.
Yeah.
And his leadership style on set was so cool to witness, so empowering. He would sit and talk. We'd have to pull him away from the extras because he would just be having a 20-minute conversation when we're like, we got to get in the scene, let's go. Yeah. He'd just be shooting the breeze. He treated everyone exactly the same, and he was a kid. He was having fun.
I love that.
He was
How
having
long was
fun.
the shoot?
We were out there probably almost 4 months altogether. Part of it was prep, part of it was the shoot. But it was a blast, man. He hasn't done a kids movie since Pocahontas, I think. But this is like a family movie, and that's what he loved about it, because he's got a 12-year-old and he's got a 7-year-old, and he's like, this is exactly the kind of thing I can show my kids. I haven't done this before. He called it Goonies with teeth.
I love that.
Awesome.
Which I love.
Yeah.
That was like a big reference for me when I was making the film. So, yeah man, it was special.
Where did you film it again?
Southport, South Carolina.
Okay, South Carolina. Okay.
Did you get to golf?
I brought my clubs. I didn't use them once.
Probably.
It's because you're a working man.
I was gonna do it, but I was just so
And so
in my head.
for people who are listening or watching, when you take on a project like this as a director, how much prep time do you need before the first shoot date? And then how after that 4 months of shooting, how long is it until it's ready?
Yeah, it takes time, man. I mean, just to get the script, the best thing you could do as a director is like set yourself up for success for the shooting day. Like there's so much that happens on any given day when you're shooting. You want to set yourself up for success. So that starts with the script. So if there's anything in the script that is going to cause longer shooting days or more shooting days that you can go smaller to go bigger, actually, that's where the magic happens. So it starts with the script. That takes time. I mean, that you could spend 6 months to a year or more getting the script to a place where you want it to be. We probably spent 6 months with it.
Wow.
Then there's the actual prep time before shooting, which is another 8 to 10 weeks. And then when you shoot it, you got, 6 weeks, and then you're editing it for 6 months to a year, depending on it. And, hopefully there's no strikes that year, and hopefully there's no pandemic or anything else that'll delay you.
Just bullet dodging.
Yeah, it's a lot.
That's
Do you
a
love
lot.
it though?
I love it.
Okay, there you
I
go.
love it. I got into the business like making little music videos and short films with my cousins in Arizona, and I'd show them to people, and people thought they were funny. And I would always act in them too, so that's why they were like, you should act. Yeah. But making those videos as a kid was the feeling that got me in the business in the first place, and ultimately the feeling that I still chase is like creating something that can make some sort of impact. Like that's what, in my best memories was growing up with my dad, going to the movie theater. Like he would grab me, we'd get a popcorn, he and I would watch a freaking movie, and that was it was like with my dad, and it's just him and I, and we're driving home and we'd have a conversation. This movie in particular, that's why I'm doing this movie, is for a dad or a mom and their kids to like have an experience together that they could both get something out of it. Like there were so many movies that I feel like aren't around now that a dad could get something out of it, could watch it and feel something, and the kids could.
Porky's.
The kids could feel something. Yeah, exactly.
Wait a minute. Is that
Sorry. Sutton.
you and Howard went to?
Yeah, me and Pops cruised to Porky's. It was amazing.
Things have changed.
Yeah,
different time. Different time.
Yeah.
Different time.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
So clearly, show business, the business of show, is in your blood, and it's in it's your purpose.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
So starting out as a young actor and being on a hit show, how did that affect what you do and growing up through that?
I'm so lucky to, I think, have two parents who had their head on their shoulders and like raised me well. I love my mother and father, and they never treated it like they needed me to succeed. It was very much like you'd support a kid in a sport. It's like, you're having fun. I like that you're having fun, but we don't need you to do this. Yeah. Like I have so many friends that are the opposite of that came out as kids and are struggling with lots of issues. Some of them aren't even here anymore.
I've seen it. I've had co-stars that are young actors, and I've heard the conversations in the vans going to set, and it broke my heart.
It's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
A kid should never feel like he's providing for the family.
Yes.
That screws you up to no degree. So I was always lucky that I had good parents, and I credit everything to them for making it so I could have fun.
Yeah.
And I learned so much. I was a student of it. I learned so much on set, and I bring all that to the table as a director and still as an actor. Like,
is directing your passion, or do you want to act?
I do both, but I love directing. Like, I love it. It's so free. It's how I think. It's just it's how
you're a visual thinker.
Yes, 100%. I can't remember. I can totally remember exact specifics of locations and how things look, but the words or the numbers, no. But yeah, I absolutely love it.
That's good.
Yeah, I love it.
You ever direct?
I did. I did a little series, little comedy series, several years ago, probably 10 years ago now. But I liked it too. I really, it is enjoyable to have a vision, and then to bring it to life. And then, you're like, well, this is how I envisioned it. But then when you collaborate with others, people will bring in things that you didn't see or didn't expect or whatever. And you're like, oh, that's so much better. Or maybe not. Maybe you're like, I appreciate that, but that's not what I want to hear. I want this. So then you learn it's a give and take, and it's this wonderful little dance. But when you piece it together right and you watch it, it's so satisfying.
It's incredible.
It's incredible.
It feels like
it's a
miracle.
dopamine hit.
Totally.
Yeah, it's better than the phones we were talking about.
I'm so glad we don't
phones.
have phone. Like, let's notice we don't have phones on the table.
No phones on the table. We all agreed to
This is a table where we care more about each other
Yes.
than our phones.
That's what I'm saying.
That's a stone cold fact.
I think that you should adopt that more than most people. Anyway, dude. So
Just picking on me.
this movie, who wrote this movie?
So this is a movie written by the guys who actually write a lot of the Peanuts, the films and a lot of the shows.
Really?
Cornelius Uliano and Brian Schultz.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Of the Schultz
Of the Schultz
Yes.
name?
lineage.
Yes, of the lineage.
Of the
yes.
Schultz lineage.
That's right. That's right.
Fancy.
He's looking after the what's
He's tending
important
the
to
shop.
family. He's tending the shop. Family
like
business. And they basically were like, we need a break from writing these cartoons, so we're going to write something a little more edgy and a little more Goonies with teeth.
Yeah.
And they wrote Monster Summer.
How does it get to you?
A friend of mine knew I was looking for something that could be a father-son experience or that family experience, and I wanted something nostalgic and hard-hitting that dealt with powerful themes. And he brought me the script, and I read it, and I was like, "This is exactly what I'm looking for." Goonies with teeth. That was one of my favorite movies. The Spielberg Amblin kind of world. So I was looking for something that I could that could live in that realm tonally.
So you have a lot of young actors. Are we going to be seeing these guys? Are these guys and
Dude.
gals going on to big things?
I'm so proud of our young cast that and that was such a fun experience for me, being a kid actor, getting to cast kids.
Well, nobody see that's the best thing, because I don't know if your young cast truly appreciates the fact that you walk that walk. You know what they're thinking, what they're feeling, what they're experiencing. Who better to direct them?
They can never say, who's this guy?
Yeah.
They were all, by the grace of God, they were all fans of mine. So it was a great. They trusted me. There was no hurdle of like awkwardness with kids on sets. Like there was none of that. They knew that I'd walked in their footsteps, and I sought to bring my best experiences to the table to take care of him. Like the best thing you could do with a kid actor is make sure he's a kid and treated like a kid. Yes, kids need to be responsible. They need to be on time. They need to be prepared. They need to know all sorts of things to do a good job. But you treat them like a kid. You don't treat them like some adult.
Little adult.
So we created that environment. I told everyone on set, hey, we got kids here, and I know as a kid actor, we listen to everything you guys say. So if you could please watch your language, please watch certain conversations that you're having.
Yeah.
Right.
Know that these kids, even if they don't look like they're listening, they're listening. And it makes a huge impact on them. So we had a wonderful culture on set. So we have Mason Thames, who right after my film was cast as the lead in the How to Train Your Dragon franchise. So he's Hiccup in the How to Train Your Dragon franchise. So we have his second film, so which is super exciting.
Amazing.
Kid's very talented. Abby Witherspoon, Reese's niece. You could see it living the future star living through her. Julian Lerner, who's a big Disney star. Noah Cottrell is also a big Disney star. These kids are crushing. They were great to work with. They're great to work with.
They're so polished for as young as they are. That's the one thing I do notice when I've had the chance to work with kids or whatever, young actors. They are way more mature than I ever was at their age. I'm always impressed by them.
Yeah,
I'm always
100%.
impressed.
100%.
And you had Lorraine.
And Lorraine Bracco. So she was. I'm Italian.
Yeah.
I grew up watching her. Like that scene in The Goodfellas where Ray Liotta's asking her how much money she wants, and she goes, that big of a wad of cash. Like,
she's Karen. Karen.
Yes.
Karen.
She's the original.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Karen.
She was so cool. She was so sweet. What you see is what you get. Like
awesome.
How was she with Mel? They were the kind of that same.
Totally. They were. She's like, he's so talented. He's great. They had a great rapport.
They're two professionals, true professionals.
Totally.
And
did the kids know who Mel Gibson was?
Yes, they knew who Mel Gibson was. I had to show them some stuff from Lorraine, but she was great. She was on time. She worked hard. She knew her line. She brought a thing. She cared about all the right things, and she was great to work with.
That's awesome.
I'm excited for this movie. I really am.
Can we watch it right now?
I can't. October 4th, you can.
October 4th.
In theaters everywhere.
We're buying tickets in advance. People buy tickets in advance, right?
Yeah, where can they get tickets in advance? Do we know?
I go on Fandango, probably.
Fandango's great.
That's one of like 10,000 ways to do it, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. We'll pop something up on screen at some point.
Let's do that.
In
Let's
post.
put a link up.
Yeah, let's put a link up.
We don't usually link.
Gary, I hope you heard that.
Gary, do you know how to do that?
Gary's like thumbs way up.
Comes there. Yeah.
Yeah.
He said not to talk to him because his mic isn't working. He got yours working, but his isn't working.
Gary, can you give us a verbal, please?
He can't give us a verbal.
Oh, he's giving me a verbal with a middle finger. Thank you, Gary.
That seems inappropriate.
Now I get thumbs up.
That seems
it's
okay.
so crazy.
Yeah.
So David,
Yes.
October 4th, Monster Summer comes out. You are doing promo for it right now, all over the world.
We will reach places in the world, but I'll do it all from here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Well, that's
So you're
the cool
going to be doing
thing
a lot
about
of
the
satellite
interwebs.
feeds and a lot of
A lot
Zooms
of satellite
and a lot
feeds,
of,
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm filming a Disney show right now.
Yeah, so is this the Wizardly?
This is a sequel to the original show.
Okay.
That me and Selena are producing, and I'm acting in and everything. So
That's what I thought. And,
Yeah.
and does Selena make some cameos?
She's in multiple episodes. Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. Her and I concocted the whole thing. You got to bring your kids. Come.
Oh my
come,
gosh! Well, they would freak out. They wouldn't know what to do.
You bring them. Seriously, bring them. I'm sure everyone's a fan of yours as well. So
Oh, that's too
bring
much.
them. They would love that.
Okay, so tell us about this show. So you decided to reboot it, and you reached out to,
Yeah.
or did Selena, or you both came together? What?
We had just been, so she's good friends with my wife too, and all of us had just been hanging out. We drink a glass of wine and go, where are the characters up to? What are they up to nowadays?
Yeah.
And so we just kept talking, and finally I was like, Selena, we should have this same conversation without the wine in front of Disney.
Yeah.
And see what happens. And so we did, and they were like, yeah, you guys got something here. So we spent time developing it, and we shot the pilot early this year, and we got picked up, and we're on episode 14 right now.
Oh my gosh.
Of 21. And
You got 21 order?
21 episode order. Old school sitcom format. It's awesome.
No,
Awesome.
nobody gets a 21 order.
No one gets 21 order.
Come on, man.
Amazing, right?
That's
Thank God.
amazing.
Yeah, we're.
Congratulations.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
That's impressive. That doesn't.
He's killing the game.
He's killing it right now.
We're working hard. I got 3 mouths to feed. 4 with my wife. Yeah, we got to
Yeah,
work.
well, you got.
Yeah.
Hey, Masters didn't pay for itself.
Oh my
you know?
God.
So
That's not every Tuesday.
Mastros is some good steaks.
Great steak.
that's-
Steak
that's-
48. You been there? The new one?
No.
That's the new Mastros. New Mastros family. They just started. Steak
What?
48 in Beverly Hills. You got to go.
steak.
Steak 48.
Okay.
It's the jam.
okay, I'm all about
Dennis
this.
Mastro just started this because his, I think, non-compete ended with Mastros when he sold it.
Interesting.
So then Steak 48's his new place.
Okay.
Unreal.
Same style of ordering.
Very similar, but a new concept, but very similar. Swarm service where 8 people come out and throw everything on your.
Ooh, I like that.
I'm getting that steakhouse fever as we speak.
Yeah, it's a good sign.
You ever go to
Yeah.
Wood Ranch?
Oh yeah, love Wood Ranch.
Love me some Wood Ranch.
What, you're not talking about?
Wood Ranch barbecue.
Oh,
Yeah, it's not a steak house.
yeah. I was about to say
but
we're
I'm not
talking steak.
fancy.
We're talking high-end steakhouses.
I know, but I like tri-tip. I like barbecue.
Okay, you're talking to a man from Kansas City. Barbecue's my life.
I know, but
Intense.
you kind of freaked out when I said Wood Ranch barbecue.
Well, we were talking about Mastros and whatnot.
That's my
Now
bad.
this Steak
I'm
48.
sorry, man. Just trying to color it up a little bit. I love me some Wood Ranch. Steak 48.
This is exciting. You are a man on the go.
We're working.
You
We're
are a
working.
man on the go. Good night. So now that you have this movie coming out and you're going to do all the promo and the movie's going to release October 4th, we're going to all go buy our tickets in advance and we're going to be ready. We're going to pounce like a mountain lion on a wounded jogger.
It's gonna be like a monster
We're
summer.
going to be we're just going to be ready when this thing is released. We're going to be on it, like devour it.
Wounded
So,
jogger.
but then it's over.
Yes.
It's going to have its run. It's going to do great things.
Yep.
And then I imagine Thanksgiving rolls in and
Christmas.
and then you reboot for 25. You got projects lined up. What are you thinking?
We've got a lot of stuff going on. Yeah, we I think season 2, if we get picked up, we'll go early next year.
Okay.
But there's a lot of things.
So right back into it.
Yeah, I think
Right back into it.
The Disney doesn't take too long off, like 3-4 months off,
I appreciate that about Disney. Like when they finally decide, they decide.
and they go all in.
Yeah.
and they stick with you and they treat you well. It's
just getting through that gate.
getting through that gauntlet. Yeah, but they take good care of you. When
That's
you're in
awesome.
the family, you're in the family.
Yeah, that's great.
So that's going. I'm doing another kids show called Halo's Heroes, which we'll do early next year, which is kind of like it's a faith show.
When you say you're doing the show, are you directing? Are you in front of the camera? Behind?
Producing and acting.
Producing and acting.
Producing and
Okay.
acting, yeah.
All right.
My kids watch this show called Wildcrats, which is like it's a show for I think 6 to 11-year-olds, and it's basically it's where two zoologists, live action, so they're really visiting an animal, and then they like zap into animation, and they go on an adventure with an animal, and it's a really sweet show. My kids love it.
Okay.
And I'm always thinking of I'm Christian. I'm always thinking of ways I can show my kids good content that involves a faith element.
Yeah.
There's really not a lot out there, and there's a lot that's very dated.
Yeah.
So I kept watching Wildcrats and like Wishbone and other shows like that, and I was like, this is kind of what I do. I had just produced an Emmy-nominated show for Netflix called A Tale Dark and Grim, an animated show. So I just made an animated show that did really well for Netflix. And I was like, okay, I know this animated world. What if we did a show where you have two brothers, so it's me and my brother. Mm-hmm. We go visit a piece of Christian history, a pivotal piece of Christian history. Like, let's say where the Bible was made or something, or where the Bible was first put together in the year 400, or Joan of Arc's story. We go to that location. We see a piece of this person. So kids know in live action, it's real. It really happened. This was a real person or a real event. It's not made up. And then we activate a time travel device, and then we go on an adventure back in time.
Still live action, or is it switched to animation?
It switches in animation.
Okay.
So it starts live action. We visit the real site. The kids know, whoa, this is a real thing.
Yeah.
And then you morph into animation, and you go on an adventure with this person. Yeah. And I just made this animated show, so I know like all these top animators and top directors and the team. So we put it together, and it's called Halo Heroes.
Okay.
And it's going to be a kids show.
Yeah.
And we're going to go to Europe early next year.
Oh, my gosh.
And start shooting that. And it's going to be for my kids and any other kids that want to learn a little bit about history.
Do you have you thought about the episodes in advance? Like, what are the sites you're going to see?
Yeah, so we're doing a bunch of them. So we're doing 10 episodes in the first season. We're doing the St. Joan of Arc story, who's a really pivotal character. We're doing St. Francis of Assisi.
Yeah. I had many high schools in my Saint.
Exactly right. Mm-hmm. Valentine.
We said St. Thomas Aquinas. We had a bunch of those.
Yes. Yeah. Lots of Thomases.
Yeah. A lot of Thomases.
Valentine, because not a lot of people know the real story of Valentine.
I don't think I do.
Who inspires Valentine's Day. He was literally a priest. At the time, Christianity was outlawed. You'd be murdered if you were Christian. And marriage was outlawed specifically because they wanted men to all be warriors. So they said, women weaken you. We want you all to be warriors. You're not allowed to get married. So St. Valentine would have catacomb weddings where he'd wed people, and he literally was beheaded for it.
And he would do it in secret.
He would do it totally in secret. They would go underground. They dig these catacombs, and he kept defying the authorities, and he was caught and executed for it.
Oh my gosh!
And it's what I love is we're in the way that we're going to do it. We're telling this little powerful story of me and my brother's character. We go into the animated world, we find him, and we get to understand what true love is. And it's more than just fluffy feelings. It's a choice. It's something. It's an important choice. And back in his time, it was a choice that could potentially cost you your life. Yeah. So I'm excited.
And willing to take that risk.
And are you willing to take that risk? That's how important love was to certain people at certain times. So we're doing stuff like that where we're getting to show the real story of some of these pivotal figures that are on our calendar. St. Patrick is another one. We're getting to show their real stories, and I'm excited about it.
That's exciting. You should be excited about it. In storytelling, I had somebody teach me this a long time ago, but they asked me, what's the highest stakes you can imagine? And I've said, well, life or death. I think that's the highest stakes. And they go, nope, it's love. That's the highest stakes in storytelling. And so it recalibrated my thinking about things. And so it is interesting because I would just thought life and death, but no, the highest stakes in any story is love or no love or lack of it or betrayal or whatever, but love is the highest stakes.
That's great.
So it's very interesting. So I appreciate the fact that you're telling these stories and showcasing that.
I'm excited. I'm excited. I think it could be, I'm hoping that show right there could be what, have you heard of the show The Chosen?
No.
It's a big show with a company called Angel Studios right now, and it's.
I've heard of Angel Studios.
Okay, so they got famous with the show called The Chosen, which is basically a story of the life of Jesus in the Gospels.
Okay.
And it helped launch their whole company, Angel Studios. It helped launch their whole brand.
Yes.
I'm hoping this show could launch a whole family-friendly brand of stuff that can, for instance, little toys or little action figures and books and things. I'm hoping it can be a universe of informative pieces of history.
Well, there's no reason it shouldn't be. No reason it couldn't be.
Love it.
Yeah. That's
so we'll
awesome.
see.
So you do have a lot lined up.
I'm listening to all the things that you have lined up, and I'm mystified at how you keep your schedule. Because it's got to be slammed.
Well, yeah, and you have a family. You've got a lot going on. Young ones too.
Do you have pets?
No.
No pets.
No. That'd
Smart.
be so hard.
That's the thing. Like I want to have a couple dogs, and I can't. Just because I'm traveling too much.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be a bad, pet owner. I don't want to have.
And dog hotels are so expensive.
And what good is it? All you can do is cause anxiety. If I'm gone for 2 weeks at a time, and then I'm back for a week, and then gone for another, it's just not fair. So I'm gonna have to wait. I'm gonna have to wait.
Smart.
But there'll be a day when I finally get my dogs.
Yeah.
No, just not yet.
What kind of dogs are you looking at?
Australian Shepherds.
Ooh.
I think they're beautiful and they're really smart. And Border Collies. I used to be a big German Shepherd fan.
Yeah.
Love them.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of open.
That was my last dog. Was a black German Shepherd.
Oh, nice.
Great dog.
Right.
Vader Van Dam. Yeah.
They got those hip problems though.
They
do.
I want to get a Doberman, and I also want a wiener dog.
You're going to have a Doberman and a wiener?
Just
That's the
going for-
combination.
I like both.
Man of extremes.
Yeah, man.
Are they going to be Mutt and Jeff? What are you going to name?
I don't even know. Like I like those little dogs with the little legs, the wiener dogs, and they think that they're just.
I do love the
I-
moxie of a
They're
wiener
just like,
dog.
they're like, have you seen me? I'm giant,
Yeah.
but they're tiny and they have no idea.
But they cock of the walk.
I know.
They really they strut.
Yeah.
Totally.
And then they got attitude too. They're like bowing up on you.
I know. I like that. They got fire.
They got
Danny and
fire.
Arnold are their names. Danny
Oh
and
yeah,
Arnold.
Yeah,
twins.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
That's actually really good.
Yeah.
Write it down, save it for later.
Trademark, copyright, Darren Leader. So date night, Mastros.
Yeah, I don't want to hold you up anymore, man. You got a big date night.
Big date night.
And-
We got golf.
And we'll be over. We'll might be a table over.
Yeah,
We won't bother
see you at the
you.
bar.
Yeah, we'll sit at the.
See at the bar. It's a great bar to stop in. Great martinis.
They got the piano over there.
Oh.
And they have really good music entertainment.
Get a little
live.
seafood tower going.
Oh, come on. You know the
Smoke.
game. You know the game.
Are you really going to take us golfing when we come to Idaho?
100%. We'll go to my country club. It overlooks the lake. It's gorgeous.
Oh, my God.
And we'll have a really
You
good
just
time.
made a huge mistake because we don't play around with that. We will be there.
Gary,
100%.
cancel the Mastros reservations. Please, we're going to Idaho right now. Thank you. Gary can do it.
Hey, everybody. Give it up for our guest, David Henrie, for being here.
Dude.
Thank you so much, dude.
Hey, thank you guys for having
It's
me.
a
This
pleasure
is a
to
blast.
meet you, man.
Such a blast.
It really
man.
is.
You really,
I
really-
feel like I really do feel like I know
Bring
you
the
only
kids.
because I've watched for so many years.
Bring
I've
the
watched you
kids
do
to
your
set.
thing. Yeah, my God, they would love it.
Bring him. Seriously, bring him. You better be ready for our producers to grab you and go, can you play a part in our show? Come on, we're going to grab you.
I did that one time for my daughter. She was a big fan of Victorious. So,
Oh, that's awesome.
So I did an episode of Victorious so
That's
she
awesome.
could enjoy it.
That's
and-
cool that you can do that.
So it was fun. But it was more fun having you here. So
Thank you, man. Thank you very much.
Appreciate
Thanks for
it.
having me.
David,
Thank you, guys.
what a pleasure.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Rob
Thank you.
Riggle, David Henrie.
Darren Leader.
Thanks, this is Riggle's Picks. Pow, 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 pow.